good morning. Thanks for being here. So, whether you're practicing with me live or whether you're catching this later, welcome. Glad you're here. So, the intention of this live stream is to just be a quick taster of what my gentle class is like every Saturday at 11 a.m. So, just take a moment to come into a comfortable seat. Allow your eyes to close and just start to notice how you're feeling this morning. Take a slightly deeper breath in and out. And then we'll join our palms together in front of the heart. Allow your fingers to interlace and then press your palms forward and up. Begin to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right several times. Just gently pulling down on your fingers and feeling into the hands and the wrists, the arms down into the shoulders, the sides of each part of your torso. And then just release your hands down to rest on the floor. Slide your right hand out just a little bit. And as you lean into that right hand, take your left arm up and over. As you reach with your left arm, just begin to squeeze and release the fingers several times. Rotate through the wrist a couple of times each way. All right, let another in-breath lift you up. And exhale over to the other side. Lean into your left hand, reach with your right hand. Squeeze and release the fingers. And rotate through the wrist a couple of times each way. All right, another inhale lifts you up to center. And exhale, just release that right hand down. All right, we'll take our hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, and then just start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now, it might be possible to straighten your arms here, but even if it's not, bent elbows works just fine. Start to feel your shoulder blades moving toward each other on your back. And begin to turn your head from side to side. All right, and then we'll lift the chin up toward the ceiling. And release it down toward the chest. Again, lifting up. Dropping down. And one more lifting up. And dropping down. All right, as you bring your head back up to neutral, go ahead and release the arms. Let the right hand come back down to the floor, and then just anchor your hand into the floor so that by anchoring your hand, you have your right shoulder staying put, staying in the spot that it's in. And then let your head gently fall to the left. So you start to feel into all of this space from your shoulder up to your head. Begin to relax the muscles of your face, your jaw, and then take the head just a few inches forward, maybe even less than that. Just a little bit forward and just a little bit back. And again, a little bit forward. And back. All right, now as you bring your head up to center, let that right hand come back to rest on your thigh, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So as your left hand comes down to rest on the floor, really anchor your hand, whether it's your fingertips or your palm or your hand on a block perhaps. But just really anchor the hand into the floor so that your shoulder, your left shoulder, stays put. And then let your head gently fall to the right. Relax the muscles of your face and your jaw. And then let your head come a little bit forward. Maybe a few inches, maybe a little less than that. And take the head back just a bit. And then once again forward. And back. All right, ease your head up to center. And left hand comes back to rest on the thigh. Shrug your shoulders up toward your ears. Move them back and down twice more. Coming up, back, and down once more. Up, back, and down. All right, now we'll shift onto hands and knees. So as you come onto your hands and knees, if you're practicing on a surface that's kind of hard, like a wood floor, you might wish to have a blanket underneath your knees. All right, so just start with your hands under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, and just begin to sway your hips from side to side. All right, then let the hips go forward and back just a few times. Feeling and noticing the weight as it shifts to your hands, back to your legs. All right, now we'll connect those two movements by taking the hips over to the left and forward and right and back. And as you connect these 4 points, start to smooth it out so it feels more like a circle than a square. All right, now the next time your hips go forward, change direction. Go the opposite way. Notice how that feels. All right, take one more deep breath. Now the next time your hips go back towards your feet, go ahead and untuck your toes if they were tucked. And then taking the hips back towards the feet, release your head toward the floor. So this is a pose that we call child's pose. It's intended to be a restful place. So for some of us, it works best to have the knees close together. For others, it works better to take the knees a bit apart or a lot apart. So take a moment to check in with your legs, check in with your hips, your knees, your ankles. Is this comfortable? Or do you need to shift a little bit to make it so? As you take just a couple rounds of breath here, allow the inhalation to invite more space into your body. So feel as though you're being inflated as you breathe in. And relax deeply into the floor as you breathe out. All right, take one more breath. All right, with your next inhale, rise back up onto hands and knees. And once you get there, we'll take the knees pretty close together. I will lift the left knee up and out to the side and just start to circle through the hip so that your left knee draws a big circle in space. All right, change direction. All right, now from here, take a breath in, reach your left foot straight back. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest, round your back. Again, inhale, reach the left leg back. Exhale, pull your knee into your chest. All right, one more. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee into the chest. All right, as you take your left leg back this time, just keep it lifted up into the air so it's about the same height as your torso. All right, begin to reach the top of your head away from the bottom of your left foot. Relax again through your face and your jaw. And now if you want just a little bit more challenge, you can take your right arm forward. All right, whether your right hand is up or down, take 2 more breaths. All right, let your right hand and left knee come down. And one more time, we'll sit back into child's pose. Remember that resting pose where your hips go back toward your feet? Your knees can be together or a little bit apart or even a lot apart. Release your head toward the earth. And feeling into that quality of expansion as you breathe in, taking up more space, filling yourself up with breath. And relaxing as you breathe out. All right, one more breath. All right, now come back up onto hands and knees. Taking your hands back under your shoulders and your knees back together. This time it'll be the right knee that we lift up and out to the side, and then just start to circle through your hip. Take a few big circles in one direction. All right, and then change directions. All right, now with that right foot, reach straight back. Take a breath in. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. Twice more. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more, inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. As you take your right leg back this time, just keep it lifted. So it's about the same height as your torso, and you're just reaching straight back through that right foot and forward through the top of your head. Notice what sensation arises as you lengthen from head to right foot. All right, if you want to add just a little bit more challenge, it's up to you, but if you want to add just a little bit of a balancing challenge, take your left arm forward. Now, whether your left hand is up or down, take 2 full breaths. All right, now left hand, right knee come down. All right, so as we sit back in child's pose this time, we'll change it up just a little bit. So tuck your toes under. And now as you sit back towards your feet, you're giving a little bit of a stretch to the bottoms of your feet. So for some of us, that will become really intense, really fast. Just kind of depending on the type and frequency that you wear shoes. And if it does become too intense, just untuck your toes. Come back to the tops of your feet. But notice how this feels a little bit different with the toes tucked under. What are the qualities of sensation that you experience here? All right, take one more breath. All right, come back up onto hands and knees. Lift up your feet, give them a little shake out. And now we'll step the right foot forward to the right hand. And just step into a short lunge. So that when you step that right foot forward, you have your knee over your ankle, and then your left hip is essentially over your knee. So it's not a big Long, stretchy lunge, but more of a stable one. All right, so we'll take the left hand to the right knee, and then sweep your right hand forward and up and back and down. So rotating through the right shoulder, but also feeling the torso twist and untwist. All right, now the next time that you reach your right arm back, go ahead and stay in your twist. Begin to turn the head to look back towards your right hand. And then just start to turn that right palm up and down. And let that movement travel all the way up your arm so that you start to feel the effects of your hand movement in your shoulder. The shoulder rolls forward a bit and back a bit. All right, take one more breath. All right, now take the right hand forward. Bring the palms together. And now exhale, take your hands to the floor. Right leg back. All right, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. So now step your left foot forward into that short lunge. So that as you lift up, remember it's not a big stretchy lunge with your legs wide apart, but more of a stable lunge with your left knee over your ankle and your right hip over your right knee. All right, now take the right hand over to the left leg. Sweep the left hand forward and up, and back and down. Feeling this rotation through your left shoulder. But remember also sensing into the twisting and untwisting movement through your torso. All right, now the next time that you take your left arm back, go ahead and pause in your twist. Turn your head to look back, and then just let that left palm start to move, turning up, turning down. Let the whole arm rotate back, rotate forward, reaching through the fingertips. All right, now as you inhale, take your left hand forward. Join the hands briefly at the heart. And then exhale your hands down to the floor. And take your left leg back. All right, so we'll practice one downward facing dog. So just start with your hands under your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips, and then tuck your toes under. Lift your knees, take your hips up and back. Now, it's not essential to straighten the legs. You can definitely, and if you are practicing with me live at 6 a.m., it can be nice to keep the knees fairly bent. Just easing your way into sensation in the backs of the legs. And then you might drop one heel toward the floor, letting that leg straighten a little bit more. And then just switch back and forth. Also fine to just stay with the knees bent, reaching your sitting bones and your tailbone high up toward the sky. All right, one more breath. All right, then release down to your knees. All right, come into a seat with your legs extended forward. Now, if sitting in this way, so just sitting right on the floor, if that bothers the backs of your legs, or if they're just a little bit cranky at this time of day, you might wish to sit up on something. Sit up on a folded blanket, sit up on a block, a pillow, just so that you kind of widen this angle between your torso and your thighs to make it a little easier on the backs of the legs. So whether you're sitting up on something or not, we'll go ahead and bend the left knee. Walk the foot in just about halfway. Now take your left hand to the floor behind you. Let your right arm come in contact with your left leg. So for some of us, it may be comfortable to just let the elbow hug the front of the shin. You may wish instead to bring your hand to your shin, or even to take the elbow to the outside of the knee, just depending on how it feels. So if you haven't done this pose in a little while, try all three, see what you prefer. All right, now take a deep breath in, lengthen through your torso, and then as you breathe out, slowly turn your head to look back. All right, let your eyes close. Relax again through your cheeks and your jaw. And then as you maintain your twist from your shoulders downward, begin to turn the head back over to the right. And just let it be the head and neck moving here. And turn the head back to the left. So that you allow your head and neck to be in this place of soft, continuous movement. Keep breathing. My cat is randomly meowing in the background. All right, the next time you turn your head to look forward towards your right foot, go ahead and release the twist. Straighten out the left leg, lean back into your hands briefly, and just let that left leg flop in and out a few times. All right, so we'll do the same twist on the other side. So go ahead and bend your right knee. Walk the foot in just about halfway. Right hand comes to the floor behind you, and then let your left arm make contact with your right leg. And as we did before, it might be the elbow hugging the shin, it might be your hand hugging your shin, or it might be your elbow to the outside of the knee, depending on proportions and comfort. All right, so as you inhale, lengthen tall. As you exhale, slowly twist to your right. All right, let your eyes close. And once again, let the head just be in continuous movement. Turning back to the left and back to the right at a slow, easy pace. All right, the next time you turn your head to look towards your left foot, go ahead and release your twist. Straighten out that right leg, lean back into your hands, and just let your right leg flop a bit side to side. All right, now go ahead and come down onto your back. And once you come to rest on your back, just bend your knees, walk your feet in, and just take a moment to feel your body supported by the floor. Take a few deep breaths, noticing again that feeling of expansion as you breathe in, and that sense of drawing back into the core center of your being as you breathe out. All right, now cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Start to bring your legs into your chest. Grab through for your left leg. Give the legs a gentle squeeze. You might be holding around your shin. You might be holding behind your knee if that works better. Just rock a little side to side. Feel into your right hip, as well as any other sensation that you might be feeling or noticing. All right, now start to rotate through your left ankle. Wiggle your left toes, move them around in space. Rotate the opposite way. All right, now take your hands behind your left knee if they're not there already, so that you're able to straighten the left leg a little bit more. Start to reach your left heel up, while at the same time feeling your left toes pulling down towards your knee by activating your shin. All right, now point through your toes. Give a little stretch to the top side of your foot and the front of your ankle. Once again, reach through your heel. And point through your toes. All right, let your left knee bend. Foot comes down to rest on the floor, followed by the right foot. Take a pause, another breath. All right, this time it's the left ankle crossing the right thigh. Bring your legs into your chest. Grab through for your right leg. Rock a bit side to side. And feeling now into your left hip. Also start to rotate through the right ankle. Wiggle the toes, move them around in space. All right, take your hands behind your right knee so that your right leg can start to straighten up toward the ceiling. Actively reach up through the right heel as the toes pull down toward the knee. And then point up through your toes, stretch the top of your foot, the front of your ankle. And once again, reach through your heel. And point through your toes. All right, bend the right knee, right foot to the floor, followed by the left foot. And then we'll step our feet wide, just about mat distance apart, and just start to sway the knees from side to side. And really just let the legs kind of flop side to side. Not really a super controlled movement, but just really letting the legs and hips finally release any of the effort from our class. And you'll start to notice and feel that your hips come up as your legs flop side to side. And then you might start to feel that your torso is moving. Maybe your head starts to move. All right, take another breath. And then as you come back to relative stillness, go ahead and straighten out your legs. If you have any low back discomfort when your legs are straight, go ahead and keep the knees bent. But whether your legs are straight or your knees are bent, take a moment to lie here and rest for at least a minute, longer if you can. Let's see if you can count to 10 deep breaths. right around the end of your 10th breath, go ahead and slowly roll to one side. Just resting on your side. Perhaps you're resting on your lower arm. Take another full breath on your side. And when you feel ready, just gradually press yourself up, coming back into your seat. All right, we'll join our palms in front of the heart. And as we bow to the light within our own hearts, we also bow to the light within each other. Namaste. Thank you again for being present, whatever time of day you might be practicing this. It is my intention to do 3 more lives with the other types of classes that I teach, 1 a week. So the next one will be next week sometime. I'm not sure what day, but I'll let you know. Bye-bye.